Have you ever noticed this kind of person around you? When they were young, their lives were quite ordinary. They might have even gone through a lot of rough patches and hardships, but as they step into middle age and beyond, their lives become smoother and smoother. Their families are harmonious. Their careers are stable. They enjoy good health, and their children and grandchildren are devoted. On the other hand, there are people who were on top of the world in their youth. They had wealth status and everything one could possibly wish for. Yet, as they step into old age, everything seems to go wrong. They are plagued by illness, their families fall apart, and their later years look bleak and lonely. What exactly is the hidden secret behind this? The answer lies in the law of cause and effect revealed by the Buddha. In the vast ocean of Buddhist scriptures, a thought-provoking truth is repeatedly mentioned. The people who truly get luckier and smoother as they age do not rely on external luck or a privileged background. Instead, it is because their lives are stamped with 3 special karmic marks. These marks are like seeds planted in the field of the mind. Nourished by time, they will bloom into perfect flowers and bear rich fruits in a person's later years. So what exactly are these 3 marks? Why do they hold such magical power? Today, let us dive deep into the treasure trove of Buddhist wisdom and uncover this secret that concerns the destiny of every single person. Before exploring these 3 marks, we must first understand 2 fundamental concepts. The first concept is the karmic mark itself. In Buddhism, it is often said that karma follows you like a shadow. Every thought we have, every word we speak, and every action we take leaves a trace deep within our consciousness. These are the seeds of karma. When these seeds accumulate to a certain level, they manifest as specific appearances and traits in our body and mind. This is what we call a mark. The consciousness-only school of Buddhism states that the alaya consciousness stores all good and bad seeds. When these seeds meet the right conditions, they ripen and manifest as our destiny and life encounters. What we call a good mark is the pure habit energy formed in the mind through the long-term practice of good deeds. They are not created over. Rather, they are qualities of the heart and mind crystallized through years of spiritual practice. These marks are deeply branded into our lives, becoming our core nature. Others can sense this beautiful energy at a single glance. The second concept is the truth behind getting luckier with age. Secular society believes that when people get old, they should naturally, but the Dharma tells us that whether our later years are peaceful and smooth depends entirely on the causes we planted in the first half of our lives. The Sutra of Cause and Effect says that even after 100,000 eons, the karma you create does not perish. When the right conditions gather, you will still face the consequences. The good and bad causes planted in youth often take until middle or old age to ripen and manifest. Why do some marks make people get smoother as they age? Because these marks represent pure karma and a mature mind. As age increases, this pure power continuously accumulates, and merit constantly grows, naturally attracting a smooth and blessed old age. For those who lack these marks, the bad karma they created in their youth ripens all at once in their old age, naturally causing them to encounter various hardships. This is not fatalism. As long as you start cultivating these 3 marks right now, regardless of your age, you can improve your destiny and make your future days better and better. This is the deep compassion of the Dharma. It gives everyone a chance to turn over a new leaf and gives every life the possibility to choose again. So what exactly are these 3 marks that can make a person get smoother as they age? The first mark is the appearance of gentle forbearance. In the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha says that the perfection of forbearance is not the perfection of forbearance. This statement seems contradictory, but it actually points to the higher state of tolerance. True forbearance is not gritting your teeth and forcing yourself to endure. It is not the suppressed endurance after holding back anger. Rather, it is when your mind becomes so gentle that anger and resentment cannot even arise. That is the true perfection of forbearance. Many people misunderstand forbearance. They think forbearance is weakness. They think it means keeping your mouth shut even when you are bullied. This is a massive prejudice. The forbearance spoken of in Buddhism is a profound wisdom and a powerful mental stability. It requires seeing through the nature of things and understanding that all phenomena are a combination of causes and conditions. There is nothing worth fighting over or clinging to. Reaching this state requires long-term cultivation, and in the Ming Dynasty, there was a true story. In a southern town, there was a merchant named Zhang who ran a fabric store. This man was very agreeable, humble, and never argued with anyone. One year a merchant from out of town arrived and also opened a fabric store right next door to the Zhang family shop. To steal the business, this new merchant used all sorts of dirty tricks to suppress the Zhang family. First, he spread rumors saying the quality of Zhang fabric was terrible. Then he sent people to cause trouble in front of Zhang stores, scaring away customers. He even secretly bribed local officials to cause trouble for the Zhang family. Facing these malicious attacks, the workers at the Zhang family store were furious. They all demanded that the boss fight back. Some suggested spreading bad rumors about the other guy. Some wanted to go to the magistrate to file a lawsuit. Some even suggested going in the middle of the night to smash the rival's shop. But Mr. Zhang just smiled calmly and said to his workers, "Why is he doing this to us? It is simply because he is afraid we will take his business." This shows he is fearful and lacks a sense of security inside. If we fight him tooth and nail, it will only deepen the conflict and benefit no one. It is better that we just do our jobs well and let our honesty and quality speak for themselves. As for what he does, that is his own karma. We cannot control it, and we do not need to. Although the workers were not convinced, seeing their boss so persistent, they had to let it go. Mr. Zhang not only refused to fight back, but when the rival merchant fell ill, he sent people over with medicine. When the other store caught on fire, he was the first one to lead a group of people to help put out the flames. These actions made the rival merchant feel deeply ashamed. At first he thought Mr. Zhang was just putting on a show to win over the crowd. But over time he realized that Mr. Zhang truly held no resentment whatsoever and treated him like a normal neighbor. This slowly melted the hostility in his heart. Finally, the merchant from out of town took the initiative to find Mr. Zhang. He shamefully admitted his mistakes and begged for forgiveness. Mr. Zhang smiled and said, "What is there to forgive? I never had any grudge against you. We are all just trying to make a living. There is enough business in this town for everyone. So why fight to the death?" From then on, the two families became good friends and even collaborated, making their business better than ever. Years later, when the out-of-town merchant spoke of this to others, he would always sigh with emotion. "I have met many tough guys in my life, but the only one I truly admire is Mr. Zhang. His spirit of gentle forbearance is something I could never learn in a lifetime." It is exactly because he has this quality that his business keeps growing and his family prospers. I finally understand now that true strength is not about fighting. This story perfectly illustrates the true meaning of forbearance. Mr. Zhang, he understood that hatred and revenge could not solve the problem and would only create more bad karma. What truly resolves conflicts and wins people over is the gentle and forgiving nature that comes from the bottom of the heart. Why does gentle forbearance attract blessings? There is a deep karmic logic here. First, forbearance can eliminate anger. The great treatise on the perfection of wisdom says that the harm of anger can destroy all good dharmas and ruin a good reputation. The destructive power of anger is massive. A single thought of anger can burn away the merit accumulated over many years, just like a forest fire where a single spark can destroy acres of trees. Many people burn up all the blessings they accumulated in the first half of their lives because of one fit of rage or one act of revenge. On the contrary, a person who can practice forbearance is essentially putting a protective shield over their blessings. The malicious attacks of others, baseless slander, or unfair treatment can easily trigger anger. But if you can endure it without getting mad or seeking revenge, these bad conditions cannot harm your blessings. Not only that, but every act of forbearance is an accumulation of new merit. Second, forbearance cultivates a gentle nature. A person who is frequently angry, irritable, and hot-tempered will develop a fierce appearance. Their energy field will become harsh, making people not want to be near them. But for a person who can practice forbearance, long-term cultivation will make their heart gentle. Their face will become kind, and their aura will become warm. This gentle energy will attract good connections and helpful people in life. When they reach old age, this blessing of good human relations will clearly manifest. Third, forbearance reflects wisdom. True forbearance is not forcing yourself to endure, but seeing through things. Seeing through what exactly? Seeing through the fact that everything is a combination of causes and conditions. Seeing through the malice of others and realizing that behind it is often ignorance and suffering. Seeing through the fact that instead of holding a grudge, it is better to let go. This awakening of wisdom is itself getting closer to your Buddha nature and closer to liberation. However, we must clarify a major misunderstanding. Forbearance absolutely does not mean indulging evil. It does not mean being a pushover who stays silent when bullied. The forbearance taught by the Buddha is guided by wisdom. It has principles. Sometimes you need to endure the harm caused by bad people, but sometimes you also need to push back. What is the difference? The difference lies in your intention. If your pushback is out of anger and for revenge, then it is not forbearance, but the creation. But if your pushback is to stop evil actions and to protect yourself and others, and your heart has no hatred, you are simply doing what needs to be done. This is wise forbearance. The second mark is the action of keeping pure precepts. In the eyes of many people, precepts are restrictions. They are things that tie you down. This is the biggest misunderstanding of precepts. The Buddha established precepts not to restrict us, but to protect us, to keep us from taking the wrong path or falling into lower realms on our spiritual journey, ensuring we steadily accumulate merit. The Avatamsaka Sutra says that precepts are the foundation of unsurpassed enlightenment. Precepts are the root of all spiritual practice. Without the support of precepts, even the highest spiritual practices are just castles in the air. Why is that? Because keeping precepts is cutting off the root of bad karma from the very source. When you keep the precepts, you naturally stop committing actions that damage your blessings. Your blessings can then be preserved and slowly accumulate. The basic precepts the Buddha set for lay practitioners are the 5 precepts. No killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no lying, and no intoxication. These 5 rules seem simple, but they cover the core behavioral guidelines for a person living in this world. A person who can truly keep these 5 precepts will definitely accumulate deep blessings in this life, and their old age will naturally be peaceful and smooth. In a certain city, there is a retired worker named Mr. Lee. His life in his later years makes everyone around him envious. In his 70s, his body is strong and his spirit is vibrant. His children are filial and his grandchildren are well behaved. His family is harmonious and he has plenty of savings. The neighbors all say he must have accumulated massive good karma to have such great blessings. But those who know Mr. Lee understand that his life when he was young was not easy at all. He came from a poor family, worked many physically demanding jobs, and had a very low income. Logically speaking, with such a starting point, his old age should be quite miserable. But Mr. Lee's life just kept getting better and better. What is the secret behind this? It turns out that Mr. Lee started believing in Buddhism when he was young. Although he did not become a monk and did not have much time to meditate, he strictly kept the 5 precepts. For decades, he never slacked off for a single day. He kept the precept of no killing very strictly. He not only refrained from killing animals for food, but also tried not to harm mosquitoes or cockroaches. If there were mosquitoes in the house, he would rather light incense to drive them away than swat them. When he saw injured small animals by the road, he would take them home, care for them, and release them when they healed. Some people laughed at him, calling him foolish for saving lives that were considered worthless. Mr. Lee would smile and say, "All things have life and all fear death. If I can save even one more life, I feel at peace in my heart." He also kept the precept of no stealing meticulously. Back in the days when resources were scarce, many people would take small things from their workplace to bring home. Everyone thought it was perfectly normal, but Mr. Lee never took a single needle or thread from his workplace. Once his company handed out some benefits and accidentally gave him an extra portion. When Mr. Lee found out, he immediately returned it. His co-workers called him stupid for refusing free stuff. Mr. Lee said, "If it is not mine taking, it will make my heart uneasy. Missing out on a little benefit is nothing but losing my true heart, is a massive deal." Mr. Lee strictly kept the precept of no sexual misconduct. He was completely loyal to his wife and never had a wandering eye. In those days, many men messed around outside, but Mr. Lee never even entertained the thought. He said the relationship between a husband and wife is the most intimate one. Betraying your wife means betraying your own conscience. He practiced the precept of no lying throughout his life. He never told lies, never bragged, and never made empty promises. If he could not do something, he would not easily agree to it. But once he agreed, he would definitely get it done. His neighbors and friends all said that Mr. Lee's word was more reliable than a written contract. This honesty earned him an excellent reputation and built deep human connections. Mr. Lee also stuck to the precept of no intoxication. At work there were inevitably social dinners. When others drank alcohol, he drank tea. Some said he was not a team player, but he did not care. He knew clearly that alcohol could mess with the mind, make people lose their reason, and lead them to do things they would regret. To stay clear-headed, he would rather not fit in. Just like this, Mr. Lee quietly kept the precepts for decades. He did not get rich in his youth, nor did he get a high promotion. His days were quite modest. But when old age came, those who had created bad karma in their youth began to face health problems and broken families, ending up lonely and miserable. Meanwhile, Mr. Lee, because he purely kept the precepts his whole life without creating bad karma, enjoyed a healthy body, a harmonious family, filial children, and a happy and fulfilled old age. This is the power of keeping precepts. Keeping precepts might not make you extremely rich and powerful in your youth, but it will absolutely ensure that your old age is stable, because keeping precepts protects your blessings, making sure that the good fortune meant for you will not slip away due to bad karma. Why does keeping precepts attract blessings? There is a precise karmic mechanism at work here. First, keeping precepts prevents the leakage of merit. Buddhist sutras often mention that merit can have leaks. What is a leak? It means creating bad karma. No matter how much you practice good deeds, if you do not keep the precepts and continuously create bad karma, your blessings will keep draining away. It is like a water bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, it will not hold. Keeping precepts is patching up that hole so your merit can accumulate. Each of the 5 precepts prevents a major type of karmic leak. No killing prevents the karma of hatred and protects your compassion. No stealing prevents the karma of greed and cultivates your integrity. No sexual misconduct prevents the karma of lust and maintains your purity of mind. No lying prevents the karma of deception and protects your honesty. No intoxication prevents the karma of recklessness and maintains your mindfulness. When these 5 are kept well, your merit will steadily build up and naturally become abundant in your old age. Second, keeping precepts cultivates good habits. Humans are creatures of habit. Long-term adherence to precepts will turn good behavioral patterns into your instinct. When you are used to not harming life, compassion becomes your nature. When you are used to being honest, integrity becomes your character. These good habits will win you trust and respect in social interactions and help you make the right choices in various situations. Third, keeping precepts is itself the accumulation of merit. The Earth Store Sutra says that if living beings can hold on to the pure precepts without caring for their own lives, that in itself is a profound practice. Every single day you keep a precept, you are planting a good cause. Over time, these good causes will ripen and manifest as blessings in your life. On a deeper level, keeping precepts reveals your Buddha nature. The Buddha nature is originally pure, free from the defilements of killing, stealing, lust, and lying. By keeping the precepts, you gradually clear away these stains, allowing your inherent Buddha nature to shine through. When your Buddha nature becomes clearer, your blessings naturally manifest, because merit is a natural function of the Buddha nature. Keeping precepts also has an important function, cultivating mental stability. The Sarangama Sutra says that gathering the mind is called precepts. Precepts give birth to stability, and stability generates wisdom. Precepts, stability, and wisdom are unified. Keeping precepts keeps your mind from wandering and prevents you from being tempted by the outside world. This in itself is cultivating mental stability. With stability, wisdom can be unlocked. Many people fail in their spiritual practice because they lack the foundation of precepts. Their minds are scattered and they cannot enter a state of deep concentration. Keeping precepts also builds the merit of fearlessness. What is fearlessness? It is having a clear conscience, not being afraid of anyone or anything. A person who purely keeps the precepts does not owe anyone anything. They are not afraid of karmic retribution and do not worry about their dark secrets being exposed. This psychological ease and freedom cannot be bought with any amount of money. The third mark is the will of diligent effort. In the Great Prajna Sutra, the Buddha said that when a bodhisattva practices the perfection of wisdom, they should not be lazy, but should always be diligent. Diligence is one of the 6 perfections and the key to spiritual success. Without diligence, even the best Dharma remains just a theory and cannot be transformed into actual benefit and merit. Many people misunderstand diligence. They think diligence means practicing, desperately meditating for countless hours, chanting the Buddha name thousands of times, or bowing endlessly. This is a shallow understanding of diligence. True diligence is not about the quantity, but about continuous persistence. It is about a firm will that never retreats, whether in good times or bad. Diligence has 2 aspects. The first is diligently practicing good dharmas. The second is diligently cutting off bad karma. Diligently practicing good dharmas means continuously accumulating merit and cultivating good habits. Diligently cutting off bad karma means constantly reflecting on yourself, correcting mistakes, and clearing away the dirt in your soul. These two aspects are indispensable and require long-term sustained effort. During the Qing dynasty in Jiangxi province, there was a poor family with only a mother and son depending on each other. The son was named Wang Zhiyuan. He was incredibly smart from a young age, but because of poverty, he could not go to school. His mother worked extremely hard to raise him, hoping he would one day make something of himself. When Wang Zhiyuan was 10 years old, a wandering monk came to the village. The monk gave a Dharma talk and Wang Zhiyuan listened completely mesmerized. After the talk, Wang Zhiyuan ran after the monk to ask for advice on life. The monk looked at the boy. Though his clothes were torn, his eyes were clear and sincere. The monk asked him, "Do you want to change your destiny?" Wang Zhiyuan nodded and said, "Yes, I want my mother to live a good life." The monk said then, "You must remember one word: diligence. No matter what you do, you must do your absolute best and persevere. Even if it is the tiniest good deed, you must insist on doing it. Even if you face the greatest difficulties, do not give up. A person like this will definitely change their destiny." Wang Zhiyuan carved this word deeply, and from that day on he began to practice diligence. He had no money for school, so he borrowed books to read. He worked in the fields during the day and read by the light of an oil lamp at night. Without a teacher to guide him, he would read the texts over and over again until he understood them. He kept this up for 3 years and finished reading the classic texts. At age 13, Wang Zhiyuan started copying books for people to make money. His handwriting was neat and careful. He never slacked off. Others would copy it once and hand it in. He would check his own work 3 times to ensure there were no mistakes before handing it over. Because of this dedication, many private schools were willing to hire him. His income gradually stabilized. But Wang Zhiyuan did not stop there. While copying books, he continued to study when he encountered something he did not understand. He would ask the teachers at the private schools. Seeing his eagerness to learn, the teachers were happy to guide him. Just like this, his knowledge grew deeper and deeper. By the age of 18, Wang Zhiyuan was highly educated. He began teaching the children in his village completely free of charge. During the day, he worked in the fields, and at night he taught the kids. Whether it was windy or raining, he never missed a single class. The villagers whispered that the boy could barely feed himself, yet he was teaching others. But Wang Zhiyuan did not care about what others thought. He remembered the monk's words, diligent effort. He knew he was accumulating merit and cultivating his mind. Every time he taught a child to read a new word, his heart filled with joy. This joy was not something material goods could bring. It was an inner fulfillment. At age 25, the time was ripe. The county magistrate heard about Wang Zhiyuan's deeds and personally came to the village to observe him. After meeting Wang Zhiyuan, the magistrate was highly impressed and immediately hired him to teach at the county school. This was a massive blessing for someone without an official degree. Wang Zhiyuan finally had a stable income and could give his mother a good life. But he did not get lazy because of this. He taught even more diligently, cultivating many outstanding students. He used most of his income to support poor students, helping them complete their studies. By the age of 35, Wang Zhiyuan's reputation for goodness had spread far and wide. The imperial court summoned him to the capital to serve as an official. He declined repeatedly, but finally took the post after his mother convinced him. As an official, he maintained his quality of relentless diligence. He worked hard for the people, stayed honest and clean, and proposed many beneficial policies. At age 50, Wang Zhuan retired and returned to his hometown. He donated his life savings to build schools, repair bridges, and dig wells for his community. In his later years, he was highly respected, surrounded by children and grandchildren, and enjoyed a peaceful old age. Before he passed away, someone asked him what his greatest realization in life was. He said just one word: diligence. I was a child from a poor family. The only reason I am where I am today is all thanks to the diligence that monk taught me when I was young. No matter what you do, give it your all and persevere. Do not rush for quick results and do not quit halfway. Heaven will never mistreat a person like this. This story perfectly showcases the power of diligence. Wang Zhuan did not have a prominent family background or supernatural talent, but he had a heart of relentless diligence. It was exactly this persistence that allowed him to grow from a poor child into a respected elder, living a happy and fulfilled old age. Why does diligence attract blessings? There is a profound reason behind this. First, diligence can break through the momentum of karma. Everyone comes into this world carrying the karma of their past lives. This karma forms a kind of momentum pushing our life trajectory forward. If you do not make an effort, you will be pushed along by this momentum, drifting with the current, and your destiny will be hard to change. But diligence is like a boat sailing against the current. It can resist the momentum of past karma, allowing you to actively create new conditions and rewrite your destiny. The Earth Store Sutra says that the power of karma is massive. It can rival Mount Sumeru. It can deepen the great ocean. It can block the path to awakening. The power of karma is huge, but it is not unchangeable. Diligence is the most effective way to change karma. Through continuous cultivation of good and cutting off of evil, you are constantly creating new good karma. This good karma will gradually overpower the old bad karma and ultimately change the trajectory of your destiny. Second, diligence can accumulate the provisions of merit. Blessings do not just fall from the sky, they are accumulated drop by drop, just like drops of water forming a river and grains of sand forming a mountain. Every diligent spiritual practice and every good deed is a deposit into your bank of merit. The more you deposit, the more you can withdraw in your old age. Some people might say, I also do good deeds, why do not I have any blessings? The problem usually lies in a lack of diligence. Doing one good deed and expecting an immediate reward is greed, or doing good for a short time and giving up because you do not see results. That is laziness. True diligence asks for no rewards and persists long term. It is like planting a tree. You do not plant it today and expect shade tomorrow. It requires years of watering and care before it grows into a towering tree. Third, diligence cultivates a resilient character. A person who can practice diligently has strong willpower. This quality will shine through when facing difficulties. When others shrink back and give up at the first sign of trouble, he can persevere. When others are knocked down by hardships, he becomes braver with every setback. This resilient character is itself a massive blessing. It will help you get through all kinds of hurdles in life. On a deeper level, laziness is the biggest enemy of spiritual practice and the main reason blessings slip away. Many people understand the concepts but are simply too lazy to act. They know they should do good but are too lazy to move. They know they should practice but are too lazy to stick with it. This laziness will slowly drain away even the blessings they have. Diligence is the exact antidote to laziness. It activates your inner energy and keeps you in a positive upward state. The great Jewel Heap Sutra says that a lazy person is like someone digging a well who stops before reaching the water source. It is not that the well has no water, but that the person was too lazy to get it. This metaphor is incredibly fitting. Many people lack blessings not because they do not have them, but because they gave up just when they were about to strike water. Therefore, they never get to enjoy their blessings. Diligence requires you to keep digging until the sweet spring water flows out. There are different types of diligence. The first is physical diligence, which means the body is not lazy and is active in doing good deeds. The second is mental diligence, which means the mind is not lazy and constantly maintains right mindfulness. The third is skillful diligence, which means using the best methods to practice efficiently. All three are necessary, but mental diligence is the most important, because the mind directs all actions. When the mind is diligent, the body will naturally follow. In the process of diligence, you must avoid two extremes. One is being overly diligent, pushing beyond your limits, causing physical and mental exhaustion, which actually makes you lose your spiritual motivation. The other is not being diligent enough, just drifting along, practicing on and off, failing to accumulate any real merit. The Buddha used the string of a lute as a metaphor. If the string is too tight, it will break. If it is too loose, it will not make a sound. It must be tuned just right to play beautiful music. Spiritual practice is exact. You must find the rhythm that suits you best. Finally, let us look at these three marks together. Gentle forbearance makes your heart soft, inclusive, and pure. Keeping precepts aligns your actions with the right path. Diligent effort keeps you moving forward without retreating. These three complement each other and form a complete system of spiritual. With forbearance, you will not back down when facing difficulties in keeping precepts, and you will persist even when others misunderstand you. With precepts, your forbearance has a solid foundation and will not just be on the surface. With diligence, both forbearance and precepts can be sustained and will not be abandoned halfway. These three marks purifying your body, speech, and mind to reveal your Buddha nature. When you possess all three of these marks, the state of your life will undergo a fundamental transformation. You will find that your mind becomes calmer and calmer, your wisdom grows deeper, and your merit becomes thicker. From the sequence of practice, these three marks also have an internal logical relationship. Precepts are the foundation. They establish behavioral standards and prevent you from creating bad karma. With the foundation of precepts, forbearance becomes possible because you have already learned to restrain your impulses. With the capacity of forbearance, diligence can be sustained because you will not give up at the slightest setback. At the same time, these three marks promote one another. When you practice diligently, your ability to forbear will naturally grow because you are constantly breaking through your own bad habits. When you purely keep the precepts, diligence becomes easier because your mind is free from the interference of afflictions. When you can forbear, keeping precepts becomes more stable because you will not break the rules out of a moment of impulsive anger. Cultivating these three marks is essentially cultivating three powers. Forbearance cultivates the power of endurance. Precepts cultivate the power of stability. Diligence cultivates the driving power. With the power of endurance, you can face the various tests of life without being crushed. With the power of stability, you can remain clear-headed and steady in the face of all temptations. With the driving power, you can constantly move forward and never turn back. Combined together, these three create a powerful spiritual force that can carry you across the bitter sea of life and death to the shore of awakening. So the secret of those who get luckier as they age lies right here. They might have been unknown in their youth, even experiencing all kinds of bumps in the road. But through these experiences, they cultivated the mark of gentle forbearance. In their daily lives, they insisted on the action of pure precepts. On their spiritual path they maintained the will of diligent effort. Time is the best witness. For those who created bad karma and chased after worldly pleasures in their youth, their karma ripens in old age and various sufferings manifest. But for those who silently practiced and accumulated merit, in their youth their blessings ripen, in old age and all kinds of good fortune naturally appear. This is not superstition, but the inevitability of cause and effect. Just like planting seeds in the spring and harvesting in the autumn. If you plant good seeds in your youth, you will naturally harvest good fruits in your old age. If you plant bad seeds in your youth, you will have to bear the bad consequences later on. So how can you verify if you possess these 3 marks? First, look at whether your heart has become gentle. When you encounter unpleasant things, can you treat them calmly without easily getting angry? When you see the faults of others, can you understand and be inclusive instead of criticizing and blaming? When there is a conflict of interest, can you yield a little instead of fighting for every inch? If you can do these things, it means the mark of gentle forbearance is appearing. Second, look at whether your actions are pure. Can you consciously uphold your moral bottom line and avoid doing harmful things? Are you honest and trustworthy, refusing to deceive others? Can you keep yourself clean and avoid indulging your desires? If you can do these things, it means the practice of pure precepts is taking shape. Third, look at whether you can consistently lean toward the good. Can you persist in doing good deeds without giving up, just because you do not see immediate results? Can you constantly reflect on yourself and correct your mistakes? Can you maintain enthusiasm on your spiritual path without practicing for 3 days and resting for 2? If you can do these things, it means the will of diligent effort is firmly established. If you find that you do not yet have these marks, do not be discouraged. Starting to cultivate them right now is never too late. Even if you are already over 50, as long as you are willing to change, your destiny can still be transformed. The deep compassion of the Dharma lies right here. It gives everyone a chance and will never abandon you just because you created bad karma in the past. Spiritual practice must start in the present moment. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait until you have more. This exact moment is the best time to begin. When you encounter something that makes you angry, practice forbearance right then and there. When facing a temptation, hold on to your precepts in that exact moment. When you feel lazy, bring forth your diligence immediately. Every choice you make in the present moment is shaping your future. You must also understand that cultivating these 3, it is not to let others see how spiritual you are. True marks are internal. They are known only to you and the Buddhas. Do not always want others to know that you are doing good deeds and practicing. Do it silently. Cultivate quietly. This is true mastery. At the same time, do not become attached to the marks themselves. The marks are just appearances. What truly matters is whether your mind is pure and aligned with the way. If you become attached to thinking, I have this mark or I achieved that mark, this attachment itself becomes an obstacle. True practice is generating a mind that does not abide in anything. Doing it is like not doing it without a single trace of pride or attachment. On the path of practice, you may encounter many tests. Sometimes it is external difficulties, work pressure, family troubles, or physical illness. Sometimes it is internal obstacles, laziness, doubt, fear, or the urge to give up. These are all perfectly normal. Every practitioner goes through them. The key is to have faith. Faith comes from a profound understanding of you must believe that every good cause you plant right now will definitely bring a good result in the future. Every bit of suffering you endure now is erasing past karmic debts. Every ounce of effort you put in now will not be in vain. May everyone reading this bring forth faith in their spiritual practice. May you cultivate these 3 marks and enjoy the pure fruits of your blessings in your later years. May you have peace and joy in this life and be reborn in the Pure Land in the next. May all living beings be free from suffering and attain ultimate liberation. Namo Amitabha, thank you for joining us today on Sacred Dharma. We hope this ancient wisdom brings light and clarity into your life. If these words brought a moment of peace to your heart, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button in the comments below. Let us know which of the 3 marks you are going to start cultivating today. Your simple comment might be the exact inspiration someone else needs to see. May you be at peace. May your heart remain unshaken, and may your later years be filled with endless blessings.